Day 47, no hangover, no regret spiral, no drama, and somehow that feels like the problem. Who knew that getting sober would lead to this particular crisis? The crisis of everything being fine, like aggressively, suspiciously, uncomfortably fine. Welcome back, Chaos Crew. Pull up a chair. We need to talk about the part nobody puts on the sobriety highlight reel. Emotional sobriety, when sobriety itself starts feeling boring. Because here's what the posters don't tell you. Getting sober is one thing. Learning how to actually feel alive without the chaos, that's the whole other mountain we didn't see behind the first one. And before we jump in, make sure to check out the Step 4 inventory worksheet in the link in the description. Taking inventory is key to kickstart your emotional healing journey. You deal with the past in the present to step boldly into the future. Now, with that out of the way, let's get this show on the road. So if you are sitting there on day 7, day 20, day 47, day 100, thinking, wait, shouldn't this feel more exciting by now? Then stay right here, because this video is for you specifically. By the end of this, you'll have real tools, a personal story that might crack something open for you, and permission to stop waiting for the grand transformation and start building it yourself deliberately, one small moment at a time. First, let's name what's actually happening. There's this thing in recovery called the pink cloud. It's that early phase where everything feels electric. You're sleeping better, your skin is clearing up, you feel like you cracked the code of human existence, you're walking around like the world itself is congratulating you, and then one morning you wake up and the cloud is just gone, and what's left feels flat, gray, not terrible, just muted, like someone turned the saturation down on your life. This is called the flat phase. And it makes complete sense when you understand what's happening inside your brain. For a long time, the substance was doing the heavy lifting emotionally. It was manufacturing your highs, numbing your lows, creating drama, tension, and release, the whole emotional roller coaster. It was loud, it was stimulating, it was exhausting, yes, but it was something, and now that something is gone, and your brain, which got used to those artificial emotional peaks, is looking around going, okay, so where's the show? Where's the next hit of feeling? The honest answer is that the show is still there. It's just quieter now. And we have to learn a completely different way of tuning into it. That's what emotional sobriety actually means. Not that you stop feeling things, not that life becomes this perfectly peaceful Zen garden. It means you develop the capacity to sit inside your feelings, understand them, and then deliberately choose what comes next. It's a skill. And like any skill, you have to practice it before it becomes second nature. So let's talk about tools, real ones, starting with gratitude, but not the way you've heard it before. Forget the generic journal prompts. I'm not asking you to list 5 things you're grateful for in a way that starts feeling like homework. Instead, try this. Every evening, identify 3 things that simply did not suck today. That's the bar. 3 things, could be massive, could be tiny. In this morning, in my case, it would be, I made it to my destination on time, my coffee hit exactly right, and a friend sent a voice note that made me laugh out loud. That's it. But what that practice does over time is train your brain to scan for the positive instead of defaulting to everything that went wrong. It builds what I call emotional muscle, and you need that muscle for what comes next. Next tool, sober adventures. On purpose, I cannot overstate how much intentional fun matters in this phase, because joy doesn't just show up at your door. You have to go get it, go on the hike and enjoy the clean air, find a new spot that does incredible mocktails and sit there for 2 hours like you own the place. Dance alone in your room to your favorite music turned up so loud your neighbors develop an opinion about your taste. Joy on purpose, planned, scheduled, treated with the same seriousness as any other appointment. Here's a tool that changed everything for me personally. When boredom hits, instead of running from it or scrolling through your phone until it passes, get curious about it. Ask yourself, what is actually underneath this feeling right now? Because most of the time, boredom in recovery is not really boredom. It's fear wearing boredom's clothes. Specifically, it's often the fear of, is this it? Is this what life feels like from here on out? And when you name that fear, it gets smaller. Then you act. Call your sober buddy. Write something wild in your journal. Make a voice note to yourself. Do anything that moves energy. Let me tell you about my week 3 because it was rough. Life genuinely felt like someone had switched off the color. I wasn't sad exactly. I was just empty in a way that felt heavier than sadness somehow. What I started doing was taking 1-hour walks every single day. Nothing fancy, just me, earbuds in, funny podcasts playing, moving my body through the world. Then I started watching things that made me laugh. Then slowly, almost without noticing, the old parts of me started coming back. I picked up books I hadn't touched in years. I started designing again, writing, singing badly and completely alone. And then the most surprising one, eating. I had genuinely stopped enjoying food. Can you imagine? Flavor came back, appetite came back. Slowly the sparks returned. And what I discovered is that peace and boredom can feel identical at first when you've never truly experienced peace before. Learning to tell them apart was its own journey. A daily win jar, keep one physical or digital, drop good moments in it throughout the week. Board games sober, karaoke without liquid courage, coffee with someone else in recovery who actually gets it. These connections are oxygen. Here's what I want you to walk away holding today. Boredom in sobriety is not a sign that you made the wrong choice. It's a sign that you are in transition. The flat phase is temporary. Emotional sobriety means you feel everything, including the flat, dull, colorless days. And you choose to keep building anyway. Celebrate every small win as loudly as the big ones. They deserve it equally. Next week, we're talking anxiety attacks and sobriety. Buckle up for that one. Drop your boring sober story in the comments. I read everything. Subscribe if you're riding this out with the Chaos Crew. We're building something real down here together.